Yesterday propelled the Tribe to a series win over the Angels. Tonight, they'll battle B.J. Upton, the latest addition into the four-hole for the light-hitting Tampa Bay Rays. The Indians hit the midway point of the season, just 2.5 games back in the AL Central. Their 42-39 record, 2 games off last year's pace, but many think their best baseball is yet to be played. Before the break, the Tribe gets 4 games against the scrappy Tampa Bay Rays. Pitching will be on full display, and Josh Tomlin toes the rubber next on Sports Time, Ohio. After taking 2 out of 3 from the Angels, the Tribe welcomes the Tampa Bay Rays to Progressive Field here in downtown Cleveland. And we welcome you into our coverage of Indians baseball tonight here on Sports Time, Ohio. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Rick, there are ebbs and flows to every baseball season, but it seemed like something happened on that last road trip where the Indians went from not being able to score at all to suddenly scoring in bunches.
Well, it's a contagious thing, hitting is, and it's a confidence thing. And I'll tell you what, they have had their confidence going in the last 7 ball games. They're getting extra base hits. And you know what? One thing that I think really is big to this offense is the walk. When they take a base on balls, good things happen. They had a couple of 3-run home. Time you average over 7 runs a ball game, you should win the game, and they have good enough pitching to do that. But the innings where they scored 3 or more runs 10 times, that is certainly something, and a lot of the times they have played from in front.
Averaging better than 7 runs a game in their last 7. The only reason they're 5-2 is because one of those games they were shut out by Jared Weaver. So that gives you an idea how well they've been swinging the bats other than the game against Jared Weaver. Now let's take a look at tonight's Nissan road-ahead pitching matchup as Josh Tomlin will take the ball against Tampa.
Well, they're going to turn it over to Josh. He's been a little more less consistent this year as we've seen him in the past, especially at home. But if he's got his curveball working, his cutter, he changes speed, he's going to have to pitch inside. He'll be just fine. You get him a few runs early, and I think Josh will do a good job. In the month of June, 2-3. Jeremy Hellickson, another young pitcher for the Rays, a very good right-handed arm. In June, he struggled. He's coming off a start where he was hitting the leg with a line drive, but he has an excellent changeup.
Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Last year, the Tampa Bay Rays won 4 out of 6 against the Indians, but this year it's been a different story for Tampa in the Central Division. They've lost 9 of their last 10 games. We'll be back with play-by-play action coming up next right here on Sports Time, Ohio. Hopefully you all had a great holiday. Celebrating the 4th of July last night. Back to work here this evening for the Tribe as they go up against the Tampa Bay Rays. 4 games that will take us into the All-Star break. Josh Tomlin on the hill for the Indians tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineup that he will face for Joe Madden's Rays. It's brought to you by Kia. Desmond Jennings in the leadoff spot, followed by Carlos Pena. Then Ben Zobrist bats third. B.J. Upton will bat cleanup. Then Luke Scott, former Indians farmhand. Will Rhymes bats sixth. Jose Molina batting in the 7 hole. Then Elliot Johnson switch hitting shortstop, followed by Sean Rodriguez.
Let's take a look at Josh Tomlin, brought to you by MLB.com at Bat 12. Follow the Indians everywhere. Josh making his 13th start, his 14th appearance. His record is 4-5 and a .585 earned run average. He has started 2 games against the Rays coming last year. He is 0-1. He's looking for his first win against them. He did pitch 12 innings, gave up 16 hits and 7 earned runs. He only walked 1 and 7 strikeouts last year. Look for Josh to pound that strike zone tonight.
Desmond Jennings steps in to get us underway. And Josh Tomlin's first pitch, a called strike on the outside edge. Jennings just 1 hit in his last 11 at-bats. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
I tell you, both these guys, or both these teams, I should say, Matt, very similar. They rely on the walk. They're tied for the league lead in walks, both Tampa and the Indians with 294. They need to get 4 walks a game, and it makes their offense that much better.
2-strike pitch, a little bit outside. Tomlin with a 1-2. Misses again to even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a little bit low, so from 0-2 to 3-2 for Desmond Jennings, who spent time on the DL earlier this year with a left knee sprain. He missed 21 games. The payoff pitch, hit to left, and a fairly routine play there for Johnny Damon. 1 away.
Let's take a look at that Indians defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet with 4 convenient locations and the best selection of Chevrolets in Northeast Ohio. Damon, we saw, is in left field. Brantley in center. Chu is in right. Hanahan at third. Cabrera in short. Kipnis second. Kochman is at first. Santana behind the plate.
Mike McClinsky calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Jerry Lane at first. Bob Davidson at second, and Jim Wolf down at third.
It's odd because it's the same crew we had for the Angels series, so I'm sure they're going to stay right here for this game and then leave town probably afterwards.
Yeah, it's probably just an odd scheduling quirk. Strike over the outside corner to Carlos Pena. Batting in the 2 hole. Didn't he have Pena batting leadoff earlier this year?
Well, he did. I know he did last year, probably this year as well. You know, yeah, you know this guy, Joe Madden, will try anything.
Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And Pena, you go back to his days with the Tigers. He's had some memorable games here in Cleveland.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. When he first came up with the Tigers, he used to hit a few against the Indians.
Over aggressive swing there, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Pena's had 10 games in the leadoff spot this year, but most of his activity has been in the 2 hole.
Yes,
Check, did he go? He went too far, and that's a strikeout for Tomlin. 2 down in the inning.
Looked like a changeup. He had him out in front before, and that's exactly what it was, a little changeup going down. He couldn't hold up. Mike McClinsky makes the call. Tomlin gets his first strikeout.
That'll bring up the switch hitting Ben Zobrist. I mentioned in our open that the Rays went 4-2 against the Indians last year. And over the last 2 seasons, they're 11-4 against Cleveland. But here in Cleveland, they have had their difficulties.
Boy, have they ever.
In recent years, the Indians have won 18 of the last 22 against the Rays here in this ballpark.
Yeah, they had a streak of 18 consecutive losses here.
Remember, Joe Madden said, we'll try anything. There's a drive to deep right. Choose back. He'll make the catch. They finally broke their skid of bad luck a year ago. They go 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo, followed by his Drupal Cabrera and Jason Kipnis. Travis Hafner batting cleanup, then Carlos Santana. Michael Brantley batting 6th. He has hit in 6 straight. Then Casey Kochman, Johnny Damon, and Jack Hanahan, an all left-handed hitting lineup against right-hander Jeremy Hellickson.
Yeah, 25-year-old Jeremy Hellickson. 4-4 coming off his shortest start in his career. He's hit with a line drive off the bat of Prince Fielder and had to come out of the ball game. X-rays were negative, so it was a bruised right shin. But he is 4-4 this year, .344. Will make his second career start against the Indians. He beat the Indians last year on the 29th of May. And Justin Masterson, he didn't give up a run in 7 innings. Let's take a look at the Home Depot defense for the Rays. It's Jennings in left, Upton in center, Zobrist in right. Rhymes at third, Johnson at short, Rodriguez at second, Scott is at first with Molina behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Shin-Soo Choo batting .292 on the year. Choo with a hit in all 3 games against the Angels. Looks at ball 1. For the year, he's hit .333 against right-handed pitching. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Hellickson, a guy who's not overpowering with his fastball, but he's got an excellent changeup. He will throw it at any time. So if he can command his fastball early, you'll see a lot of hitters out in front of that changeup.
Choo lines that one up, drills it to deep right, and gone to Souvenir City. Shin-Soo Choo's 9th home run of the year stakes the Indians to a 1-0 lead. So Shin-Soo Choo watched 2 balls miss the strike zone, and the first one that got into the hitting area, he crushed it.
Well, and it was a fastball. And Choo with his 9th home run, but his 4th leading off a game. And he got a fastball right down the middle, and Hellickson better not pitch down the middle of the plate because the Indians hitters have been swinging it very well the last 7 games. So they will play from in front again today. It's 1-0.
as Dribble Cabrera looks at ball one outside. Fouled away. I'll tell you one thing for Jeremy Hellickson, he'll have no trouble finding his catcher behind the plate here tonight.
You're saying the colors of his shin guards and the chest protector are a little bright?
A little loud and obnoxious.
Glow in the dark.
Down on the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. It looks good on him, though.
Well, it makes Molina look much faster.
Hellickson with the 2-1. And Cabrera lifts it to left field over near the line. Jennings on the move. Makes the catch. And that's out number 1 as Cabrera gave it a long ride but came up a little bit short. And 1 down for Jason Kipnis. Kipnis, since moving into the 3-hole in the lineup, has taken off, batting .297. Takes a strike. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. When Kipnis gets a runner into scoring position, he turns it up a notch or 2.
Well, that's what they've been doing so well on this 7-game streak where they've been hitting the ball so well. They've been doing it with guys in scoring position.
Sean Rodriguez throws out Kipnis, 2 away here in the first.
White Sox already a winner today, beating Texas 2-1. A couple of one-run ball games after they blew them out the first game of that series, so they ended up sweeping them.
I'm sure Al will be along shortly to tell us, but what happened in Detroit? They were losing 3-2. They ended up winning 7-3, and it was late when they were down. They must have scored big in either the 8th or the 9th inning.
I bet Big Al's working on it right now.
Minnesota out-hit Detroit 15-9, and they end up losing 7-3.
Boy, someone must have hit a big fly.
That's what I'm wondering. A couple of walks and a grand slam, maybe. Well, Travis Hafner back in the lineup yesterday. His first at bat, he worked for a walk, and that led to a 3-run homer by Michael Brantley. Manny Acta talked about the fact that just Hafner being back in the lineup, his presence makes a pitcher have to account for one more hitter in that lineup. Doesn't always necessarily show up in one at bat, but might show up in the next at bat or later in the game. Hafner down on the count, 1-2. Downstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays with a fairly traditional 3-man shift for Hafner. Seven balls, 7 strikes for Hellickson so far here in this first inning, and the 2-2 to Hafner. Low and a full count. And the payoff pitch. Hit on the ground to Rodriguez, who throws him out to end the inning. But Chu starts the game off with a solo blast, and the Indians lead it 1-0 after an inning. Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Ground ball to third. What a pick by Jack Hanahan. He'll throw out B.J. Upton for out number 1.
Does it get any better than that? I don't think so. That ball was hammered. I mean, he had just a reaction. He barely took a half a step, and that ball is on him. Look at that. That is a great pick right there. That's why they call it the hot corner.
Ooh, you're not kidding. That was smoking.
That is just all reactions, folks, in good hands.
You could see the frustration on B.J. Upton's face as he went back to the dugout because you can't barrel it up any better.
When you hit a ball that hard, you want to hit. I don't care who makes the play, but you want to hit, and he just hammered it.
There's Luke Scott, the former Indians farmhand.
Watch this real time. Oh, boy, it's fun to watch. Glad I'm not out there.
1 ball, 1 strike as Scott pulled off of that pitch. They've got a major shift on for Scott. Hanahan's all the way over where Cabrera would normally be at shortstop. The 1-1 down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Scott went to the Astros in the ill-fated Jeremy Robertson trade many years ago. The 2-1, a little bit low. Yeah, he's getting into some uncharted territory as far as Tampa Bay Rays players go. Pop back out of play.
It starts getting into your head after a while. It could be because he's a veteran. He's been around a while. You know, and when you start getting into the 30s without getting a base hit, you can bet it's starting to weigh on you. And every swing you start thinking about it.
Yeah, because now you're talking about a week. A week's worth of games where you're not sniffing it. And on the ground to Jason Kipnis, who throws him out. And with that out, 0 for his last 37, he's now tied Jose Cruz Jr.'s club record for the longest stretch of futility. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. The guy that's really hurt them is Evan Longoria. He got a partially torn hamstring, and he's been out since May 1st.
Well, not only, and you're thinking offensively, but defensively as well, because at third base, what do they have, 21 errors over there in that position?
Yeah, tied with Baltimore for the most at that position.
And that's why Baltimore and Tampa are the last 2 fielding teams in the league, Baltimore being last.
Will Rhymes, you may recall, a former Tiger infielder, hitting just .235 for Tampa. Checks, it's a called strike. And Tomlin pounds away. It's 1-2. Big curveball.
That was the good pitch that he had working for him in Baltimore, that curveball for Tomlin. Remember, he was taking it off, and he was throwing. That was his go-to pitch in that
anytime
start.
he needed a strike.
He went right to that curveball. That one was looked like he might have tried to throw it a little too hard.
Pops him straight up with a fastball. Santana should have a play here. And the inning is over. The Rays go 1-2-3. Tomlin retires the first 6. It's 1-0 Cleveland. Indians with a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Carlos Santana, Michael Brantley, Casey Kochman due up for the Tribe. When leading off an inning, Indians hitters have been putting up some pretty good numbers in their last 3 games. 8 for 16, accounting for 7 runs scored.
Well, that's something to be said. You remember we started out on that trip getting the leadoff man aboard, but they weren't cashing him in. Now they're starting to cash him in.
25 of their 73 home runs hit on the year have led off an inning. Here's Santana now, batting in the 5-hole tonight. Looks at ball 1 down low. Caught the corner, and that'll even it up at 1-1. Missed outside.
Now I can notice where Santana right now with that front leg kick, he's not lifting it up. It's more of a toe tap. You know, to try and keep him down and settle that momentum. Watch his front foot. It's going to be a toe tap and drag it back as opposed to lifting it straight up and lunging.
He drives one to pretty good. Deep to left. Jennings back. And he'll make the catch a stride in front of the wall for out number 1. So that's the second ball the Indians have hit to deep left field already tonight.
You see, he brings that front foot out. He hit a pretty good pitch, sinking down and away, and that's what you have to do with that pitch. He hasn't been doing that. He brings it back and taps it and then goes forward. So it's keeping him from lifting it straight up. It gives him that one little second to keep it back on the ground. So I'm sure that's something he's been working on the last few days.
Michael Brantley, a .278 hitter on the year, steps in here against Hellickson. And the ball is down low. Jeremy Hellickson was the American League's Rookie of the Year after he won 13 games and had an earned run average of just .295 a season ago. But he's 0-4 in his last 6 starts. Brantley with a drive to deep right field. Zobrist going to watch this one sail out of here. Michael Brantley on a home run binge. His second homer in as many games, and the Indians lead it 2-0.
Well, with Michael, home runs come with quality swings. And that one there was a quality swing because he's not a home run hitter, but watch how quickly his hands get through a ball down and in. And Hellickson comes with the fastball, and it's the second one. Choose was out over the plate. This one was in. And he just dropped the bat head down and put a nice quick swing on it. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Because when Michael hits home runs in back-to-back days, you have to love it. It's Tribe 2-0 now, both on home runs.
And now Casey Kochman steps in. And takes a strike. Breaking ball down low. Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday. Casey Kochman hitting the Indians' second 3-run homer of the ball game. Nailed it into the Angels bullpen. Great clips. It's going to be great. Tribe ran out to a 9-1 lead in the second inning and never looked back. Now Kochman with a line drive, base hit into left field.
I tell you, the Indians are swinging it well. They're hitting it where it's pitched.
And the results are showing up early for the Indians. Now let's check in. Here's Katie with it.
Thanks, Matt. Well, if you don't have your tickets yet for July 22nd, you want to log on to Indians.com and get them right now. Baltimore will be in town, and the first 15,000 fans through the gates will take home a Charles Nagy jersey, courtesy of First Energy Solutions. You can get your tickets now online, guys.
Our old buddy, Charlie.
Johnny Damon takes a strike. Damon, who played for these Rays last year. The 0-1. Lines one to left field. And making the catch is Jennings for out number 2. So with 2 down, it'll bring up Jack Hanahan. Hellickson. Nails the outside corner for a strike. Jack has hit in 4 straight games now, going 5 for his last 15. One ball, one strike. Kochman a very short lead at first base. And it's down in 2 balls and a strike. So Jack has worked himself into a pretty good hitter's count as Hellickson, who's thrown 30 pitches tonight, but only 16 have been for strikes. He's been behind a lot of hitters early. Jack rolls over on a ground ball to second, and the inning is over. But the Indians get their second solo home run of the game, and they lead it 2-0 after 2. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one tonight to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. 2-0 Indians as we go to the third inning. Bottom third of the order coming up here for Tampa. Jose Molina, Elliott Johnson, and Sean Rodriguez. Molina batting .200 on the year. 4 homers, 14 driven in. And he hits one off the end of the bat foul up the first base line.
Big George there didn't move. He says, I'm not going to get it. Let it finish rolling.
Good to see Josh Tomlin as you take a look at George Hendrick.
There's George Hendrick, former Indian, former teammate of mine.
He's telling Jerry Lamb, I don't have to get those foul balls anymore. I did my time.
Well, I mean, if you're a base coach, they used to do it, but now they just let them go. It doesn't matter how hard they're hit because they're not going to injure yourself, trying to stop or catch a ball. Let it go. They all do it now. Rarely will you see somebody trying to catch one.
2-strike pitch to Molina. Hit on the ground to third. Jack Hanahan takes care of that one away. Here's a look at our AT&T trivia question tonight. Frank Robinson was the first African-American manager in the major leagues. Who was the second? We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Elliott Johnson, the Rays shortstop, takes ball 1 outside. I was about to say earlier, it was good to see Josh Tomlin get through that first inning because the first inning has been a problem for him this year.
At one point in time, it was a problem for almost everybody on this team.
Tomlin's ERA in the first inning this year, coming into tonight's start, was over 10. Last year it was 1.38.
Well, there's a few things that have changed for Josh this year. That one's way foul. And one of them has been the way he's pitched here at home. He was so good at home. Still is. I mean, when you look at his career numbers, 14-7 in this ballpark, but this year he's 1-3 and an ERA over 5. You look at his hits to innings pitched, they've gone up. Remember, he had a whip last year of right around 1.
Last year his first inning ERA was the best in the American League. This year there's actually one who's higher than him, and that's Nick Blackburn, whose ERA is over 11 in the first inning. So getting through that first inning and being able to maybe settle in, we'll see how that fares for him tonight.
Well, he normally has a few quick innings in his games that he pitches well. 6 innings is a number for him.
In the hole, a base hit. First base runner for the Rays.
Well, and this is the way to do it. It's an elevated fastball away. He doesn't try to pull it. He just slaps it the other way and finds the hole.
I'll bring up Sean Rodriguez. Ball 1.
This is a Rays team that lead the league in stolen bases with 69. But you've got a guy on the mound that hasn't allowed a stolen base since 2010. 2 have tried this year. They have been thrown out. So it'll be interesting to see what Joe Madden does here with Tomlin on the mound.
Elliott Johnson along with B.J. Upton and Desmond Jennings. That trio, all with 15 steals on the year. Well, he had him going to second base, and then he put on the brakes and stopped.
Did he take off?
Yeah,
the false break. He started to try and time him, and it's so good that you stop.
It's so good it's wrong.
Yeah, it's so good to be true. And all of a sudden you just stop when you should have just kept going. But in that split second as a base steal, you panic. You figure you're going to get picked off or he's going to step off the mound, so you automatically stop. And most pitchers can't really see you when you're off and running. They're set and they're ready to deliver. They're just holding it that split second longer.
Now the hit on the ground to second. Kipnis goes to second for one. A return throw, not in time.
Did he pull him off the base?
No, I think more it was a case of Elliott Johnson went in pretty good at second, and Cabrera just couldn't get a lot on the throw. His footwork looked a little off.
Well, it was.
Due to
I
the
thought
slide.
Kipnis might have, instead of turning sideways to throw, I thought he was going to flip it. Let's see how close he was. No, he had to do it that way. Quick feet. He turns. Cabrera gets the foot out of the way, and he beat it out anyway. So it was bang-bang at first base.
So 2 down, a runner at first for Desmond Jennings, who flied to left his first time up. Sends a high pop.
That's
foul territory.
In play.
Kochman makes the catch. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's the Indians 2 and the Rays nothing.
Well, the Indians here leading it 2-0, entering the bottom half of the third. Well, say with the KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack, a terrific value for any family. And you'll get 4 seats in the mezzanine level right next to the kids' clubhouse. 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsi products, 4 Indians caps, and also a parking pass. All for $96. Log on to Indians.com for the details.
Shin-Soo Choo will lead off the third inning for the Tribe. He led off the game with a solo homer. The Indians, with a pair of solo jacks tonight, lead it 2-0. Choo's 9th home run of the year. Gives him 32 runs batted in. He squared around but took it for a ball. It was a breaking ball. Hellickson with the 1-0, and it's fouled.
Fourth leadoff home run of the year for Choo. I think he's fit into that spot very well.
Swung on and missed a ball and 2 strikes. So you look at the Indians lineup tonight. It's the all left-handed lineup that Maniac has used on a number of different occasions this year. And it got me thinking with our buddy Brian Anderson in the house tonight, now doing television for Tampa. Obviously different when he would pitch as a left-handed pitcher, but he would say he actually liked it when a manager would stack the opposing lineup with all right-handed hitters. In other words, guys who all hit from the same side of the plate. Because he said it was much more difficult when it was back and forth. He said you'd have to constantly adjust your arm side,
right.
which, side of the plate. He said when it's all the same side, you can get maybe into a groove a little bit more. But Chu's the guy in the groove right now.
That makes sense.
He is 2 for 2 with a base hit to the opposite field.
Well, Chu loves the ball away because he stays on it. If you want to get Chu out, I mean, that was not a bad pitch away and down. He gets good extension. He loves to serve it out that way. But when you see most teams that have to face Chu for a while, they're going to try and pound him inside and force him to pull the ball. But he likes it away. I also like that shot we showed of Brian Anderson. Now I know why he has those kind of headsets, so he doesn't mess his hair up. You know, the one going and wrapping around the ear.
Looks like a telephone operator
No
over there.
kidding. Call 1-800-BRIAN.
If you need a
There he
Snuggie,
is, see?
there you
Can't
go.
mess that hair up. Doesn't pay much for product either.
No. Keep a couple of straight razors
It's
around.
always fun to talk about. I remember when he first came on, he would do the 12 o'clock noon games when we would televise them. And he televised 5 or 6 in one year, and it seemed like every time he did it was Carmona pitching or CC, right? One of the big boys.
And they were dominating that year.
Yeah, they had a good year, and he was coming on. It was like so easy for him.
I wonder if he brings his own pens to work now.
No, I'm not sure he does. But he came in and he saw Tommy and Gary up here, and he wanted them over in their booth today because he thinks they do such a great job, which they do. But I will be willing to make a trade. I want Kreskin for Bochenek.
We had BA when he was still in between. He wasn't sure he was
coaching.
Done. He wanted to. Remember, he went and gave it one more try as a pitcher.
Coming off surgery.
And that elbow ligament blew out again, and that was that. Big thrill for Brian before tonight's game, though. His daughter, Rylan, was selected to go down on the field, and they always have a youngster go down on the field and give those two famous words that signal the start of every ball game. So she was able to take part in that.
Play ball.
Runner goes. Hit on the ground, a third foul.
There's his daughter. There you go. He was fired up. There's Dad. Gets a big hug and a kiss, and he says, all right, honey, you go watch the game. I got to go to work.
Yeah.
I got to go up and do a ball game.
Sport coat, tie, jeans.
Oh, gosh. We've had some fun with him over the years.
Cabrera fly to deep left his first time up, down into the left field corner. And Chu draws another throw. And there's Dribble. Awaits the 1-1 pitch. And Hellickson with a long hold, and Cabrera fouls it out of play.
Well, one of the ways you combat base stealers is just hold the ball sometimes. The thing you want to do as a hitter, though, when a pitcher holds it, for more than that 1 second or a second and a half, you want to call timeout because a lot of times you'll get on your heels. And you're not going to be as aggressive or ready to swing.
One more steal for Chu will give the Indians 3 players in double figures in stolen bases.
Chu's been very good. He's 9 out of 10.
Now the 1-2. Strikes him out. First strikeout for Hellickson, one down here in the third.
Coming back with a curveball and has Cabrera out front. I think that ball hit the dirt. Did it? Yes, it did. Had some nice drop to it. That 12-6 curveball and picked nicely by Molina, but Cabrera will go down as a strikeout victim.
Now Jason Kipnis, who grounded to second his first time up. The Rays are coming off a game yesterday against the Yankees, a 9-inning game in which the two teams combined for 336 pitches.
That's a typical American League East game, it seems like.
Caught the corner. Unfortunately for the Rays, a lot of those pitches were thrown in the 9th inning when Kyle Farnsworth issued 4 walks, and that enabled the Yankees to come back and win that game. Missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a feeling Molina had a notion Chu was going to be taken off because he set up almost off the plate there, didn't he?
He was so far off the plate, he had no chance of throwing a strike there. I mean, you may be right. He wanted him to just throw a pitch out of the strike zone because he was way off the plate.
Well, Molina, a veteran, he might have just had a hunch himself in that situation. 2-1 pitch, grounded to third. Rhymes to second for 1, but they cannot turn 2 as Kipnis beats it out with good hustle down the line. Get a look at our minor league report tonight, brought to you by University Hospitals. And Russ Kanzler continuing to swing a pretty hot bat, batting .324 in his last 9 games. 3 runs driven in last night in the Mud Hens. Travis Hafner grounded out to second his first time up. With a runner at first base, the Rays still have a shift on, but with that runner at first, they give Hafner a sizable hole from second base and just to the right of second base.
And what they do, though, in their last at-bat, when he got to 2 strikes, they shifted even more. So we'll see if they do that again, even with a man on first. I would look for Johnson to maybe go over to the second base side. We'll see.
That just puts more pressure on him if he's over there with that runner at first base to be able to get to the bag and take a throw. Now the 1-0. A little bit outside, 2-0. You know, when Hafner went out, we talked about, Rick, how the Indians and the walk has been a big part of their offense. He's a big part of that. Early in the year, Hafner and Santana were the 2 guys that were seeing a lot of pitches and drawing a lot of the walks.
Those are the guys, though, that have to drive in the runs, the 3 and 4 guys. They can't take as many walks. They have to be productive.
Two and 1 to count on Hafner.
I mean, if they're going to pitch around one guy, you understand it. You're going to have to take walks, and you take what's given to you. Somebody is eventually going to have to hit and drive them in.
Well, especially when you've got runners in scoring position, that's when you want your guys in the middle to go outside that comfort zone.
At times.
Don't wait for the perfect pitch. The 2-1 runner goes, and Hafner slams it to left center field. Jennings a long run. He'll make the catch on the warning track to end the inning. Well, Hafner gave it a ride, but it comes up short. 2-0 Tribe after 3. Going into the fourth inning, Josh Tomlin has tossed 38 pitches through the first 3 frames. 24 of those have been strikes. And he's allowed just 1 hit. Carlos Pena, strikeout victim, his first time up, leads it off. And a curveball in there for a strike.
He's searching for it to try and get to where he was last start. That curveball is about 73 miles an hour or thereabouts. And it really takes the hitter off when you want to get it over for strike 1.
Missed down and in, 1-1. Carlos Pena has been about what the Rays expected he would be. A 199 hitter, but he'll hit a lot of home runs, 13. And he's also doubled 10 times. Smokes that one, and what a catch by Kipnis! There's a case where the shift really pays off.
Well, and I'll tell you what, he didn't try to dive for that ball. He stayed on his feet. I think that a little of the outfielder came out in him there.
If he doesn't get that, Rick, that might be a double.
That's a line drive with top spin on it. He runs over there, and that's a good play. That ball was sinking in a hurry. There you go, on the run, going to his left. Nice play.
Again, if he doesn't get that, it probably hits the ground and rolls down into the corner for a double. So instead of a runner aboard to start the inning, you've got 1 out, and Ben Zobrist up looking at ball 1 outside.
Well, one of the men that started all this shifting and things like that is Joe Madden, that's in the Tampa dugout. And probably do it more than anybody else. But there are a lot of teams that follow suit and do it now, and the Indians are one of them. And I'll tell you, it's paid dividends for them this year.
Routine fly ball to right field. Shin-Soo Choo. 2 down. Beer Money returns to STO tonight at 11:30. It will be Ashley Collins, Chuck Galletti, and Amanda John, who stopped by Panini's in Concord and Progressive Field. See what happened tonight at 11:30 on Beer Money, presented by Miller Lite, right here on STO. B.J. Upton robbed his first time up. This time he taps one over to third. Jack Hanahan took a hit away from him back in the second inning on a terrific defensive play. And I was just thinking as he hit that chopper off the plate, wouldn't that be baseball justice if he hits a little blooper off the plate?
Oh, well.
And that stayed fair and he would have got a hit out of that one.
That's what he's hoping for. That's what he's hoping for. But they say they even out as a hitter. It never does. I'll be the first to tell you. It's tough enough to square up a baseball a lot of times, and when you do, you expect hits. And you go through spells where you can hit the ball right on the nose and you have nothing to show for it for quite some time.
Tomlin, the 0-2, ran a fastball up high and Upton able to foul it straight back.
Yep, changed the eye level. That's one pitch. So you know what I like about that? If it was maybe about 3 or 4 inches higher, but it had the plate. You're going to get hitters to swing at the ball if it's middle of the plate. And it's tough to get on top of that ball. Just a hair higher, and he would have had a strikeout and follow it up with the cutter. Beautifully done.
1, 2, 3 go the Rays. Second strikeout for Josh Tomlin. 2-0 Tribe. Home half of the fourth here at Progressive Field. 2-0 Indians. Couple of solo homers for the Tribe here tonight. Jeremy Hellickson will face Carlos Santana, Michael Brantley, and Casey Kopchman. Hellickson, 6'1", 185 pounds. And it's interesting, too, because, of course, here in Cleveland, for so many years, every Indians fan was, young fans were told the stories from their parents and grandparents about the great Bob Feller, who came from Van Meter, Iowa. And here's Jeremy Hellickson from Hoover High School in Des Moines, Iowa. But not exactly a baseball hotbed, as far as recent years. But here's a young man who, not a real big guy. And not a flamethrower obviously like a Bob Feller was, but a tremendous young pitching prospect, even coming out of high school. LSU wanted him. So if LSU found him in Iowa, everybody else was in on him too.
That's right.
But the Rays signed him, and he's progressed through the system quickly. There's a long drive to left. Back is Jennings. They keep trying left field, and they keep coming up a little bit short.
That's why you pitch away. Make them beat you the other way. It's hard to do.
Here's our highlight reel, brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Michael Brantley, a 3-run homer last night and a solo bomb here today. So he's hit 2 homers in the last 2 games, giving him a total of 3 on the year. But more importantly, he's now hitting 7 straight games. He's, you hate to call him a streaky hitter, but he's been Mr. Streak this year. He had the long hitting streak and just consistently continues to get hits.
Well, I remember early part of the year where he was hitting the ball hard and he really had nothing to show for it early. And it could have become frustrating for him, but it did not. He never got down on himself.
No.
He continued to go out there. I mean, to tell you, some hitters would it would bother mentally. It didn't faze him. He continued to put good at-bats up when he was leading off. This was back when he was leading off and wasn't buying any hits, and that's your job as a leadoff hitter. It can become frustrating. It didn't. He stayed with it, and good hitters hit their way through it.
Dr. Smooth has that inner confidence. He's hitting 37 out of 40 games.
I know it. And we mentioned it yesterday. He's not a guy that walks a lot, but that swing there.
Oh, I tell you what. Ben Zobrist called a great play or a lucky play. He short-hopped that ball in right field. If it gets by him, Brantley's still running.
Well, when you're an outfielder, a lot of times when you commit and you think you can catch a ball, the minute you start hesitating to stop is when you're in trouble. He never did that. He continued to come in, and he ended up making a nice play on the short hop. If he backed up or something, it would have got by him, because that's when the ball starts jumping, you get on your heels. He made that commitment thinking he was going to catch the ball and just continued to come in, and he stopped it anyway, and you held him to a single. But you're right, if it gets by you, you get in trouble. It's a triple.
Now Casey Kopchman, who lined a single into left field his first time up. And Hellickson misses outside for ball 1. Outside, and there again, Molina is not outside. He's almost in the other batter's box.
I'm almost thinking, but watch where his glove's at. I'm almost thinking where Hellickson's, he's had 3 straight short starts. He's way off there, but that glove he's trying to bring over to the plate. But he wants him to miss. He must be missing on the plate in his last few starts, because he hasn't been going very, very long into a ball game. So he's probably making a lot of mistakes middle of the plate. That's the only thing I can think of. Because, his last start against Detroit, he had to come out because of a line drive. He got hit in the shin. But 3 2/3 against the Mets the start before that, 4 1/3 against Miami. And one game, that game against Miami, he just had control issues. He walked 7.
He hasn't walked anybody here tonight, but he's been behind a number of hitters.
That's
3-0
a good
pitch in
pitch.
for a strike. Kochman in a good spot here with a 3-1 count. Runner goes. Called a strike.
That looked
And
low.
Brantley is a dead duck.
Yeah, he was. I don't know. 3-1, you're figuring, okay, you're going to get a fastball here. And I didn't see the pitch. I thought
it
it was
looked
a
low
fastball.
too initially. Yeah,
Well,
that's
it
right
had
there.
the plate.
Yeah,
It's
right.
at the knees, and there's a throw. Easily gets him. And they felt if it was a good pitch that Kochman was going to swing, but you get a caught stealing now for Brantley.
Now he draws a walk, so 2 down and a runner at first. And we'll go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pulowski.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Rick. Let's go to Toronto, where here in the third inning, this play kind of sums up the Blue Jays' night this far. Grounded to third by Butler. Brett Lowry, great diving stop, and then he sends it into right field with the throw. 2-run score. Kansas City leads this one 5-2. They're now in the fourth inning in Toronto. Matt?
Al threw us a 3-2 slider on the black right there.
We took it,
Locked
though.
us up.
We took it.
That Tigers game, it was a 5-run 8th inning. Detroit blew it open against Minnesota. And how about this? 3 different relievers gave up 5 runs. Scott Diamond went 7 innings, gave up 2.
Yeah.
And 3 different Twins relievers combined to give up 5. Prince Fielder hit a home run. Delman Young
That's
hit a
what
home
happened
run.
to the Rays yesterday against New York. Price goes out there, gives them 7+, and
1 bad inning.
if the bullpen doesn't hold it, it's a tough day.
And, and there again, that's what we talk about here, what the Indians have. And you know what? Everybody's going to have a bad day. You don't expect them to be perfect. But they've been pretty darn near perfect here when you give them the lead after 6 innings.
Yeah, they sure have.
Hellickson with the 2-0 now to Damon. And it bounces away from Molina. Kochman will go down to second base. So he's in the scoring position on the wild pitch with 2 down.
Well, you take that. Yeah, you talk about it after 6 innings. The Indians 34-2 with a lead after 6 innings. That one there, I mean, he thought he was going to backhand it. That was an easy ball to knock down. He just went after the backhand, nonchalanted it, and that gives Kochman an extra base and gets him in the scoring position. So you take it after he threw out Brantley trying to steal on a 3-1 count.
Fires a strike in there. Damon thought it might have been ball 4. He was ready to toss his bat and head to first. Now he'll take aim at this 3-1 pitch. Hit off the end of the bat over towards third. Hellickson off the mound. What a terrific
Nice
play
play
by Jeremy Hellickson to end the inning. Still, 2 solo homers have held up so far through 4, 2-0 Cleveland. Panini's with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. And by KiaCleveland.com. 2-0 Indians on top as we go to the 5th inning. Luke Scott, Will Rhymes, Jose Molina for Tampa. Luke Scott looks at strike one. He grounded out to second his first time up. Hammered foul.
Just a hair out in front, huh?
Now the 2-strike pitch. Popped him straight up at the plate. Santana back to the screen. He's there. One away. It's the second hitter who's fouled out right at the plate here tonight.
Well, buy your tickets early and save on seats for the fireworks. That'll celebrate tomorrow night. It'll be against Tampa. It's a 7:05 start, and the fireworks will be set to music from your favorite superheroes after the game. Log on to Indians.com. Get your tickets. In case you didn't get enough yesterday or the day before that here, we're going to have them again tomorrow night.
Up and away, ball one to Will Rhymes. He was the first guy who fouled out to Santana. Luke Scott doing it to start here in the 5th. Fastball down low, 2-0. Drilled to deep right. Back is Chu on the track at the wall, and it hits off the wall. And now all the way back towards the infield, and Rhymes is going to make it to third base. And he's got himself a one-out triple.
Did that ball hit the wall over there near the yellow stripe just above their bullpen? It was awfully close to being a home run.
Just to the right of the bullpen, the wall jumps up.
I want to see, where Chu hit it over there. I thought he didn't jump. Either that or he jumped into the wall. Ah, that's what happened. His glove got caught on the padding there. He didn't get it up. Not that he would have caught it, but it was right on the corner there, that yellow line. Awfully close. Could have been a home run, and that glove got caught on the padding. I see what happened.
Well, let's see if Tomlin can keep that runner at third base now with one out. Jose Molina swing and a miss.
Well, he's going to need a pop-up or a strikeout or a little one-hopper back to him because the infield's playing back, and they should in a 2-0 game. Kotzman at first is playing in. Hanahan a few steps back at third.
Molina grounded to third base his first time up. Missed outside with it, 1-1.
Check this out again where Chu's glove goes right into the padding as he's going up to catch that ball, and it ricochets up. I think he would have been a tad late getting there anyway, maybe a half a step. But ball ricochets out. Rhymes ends up on third with his first triple of the year.
Came inside and missed, 2-1. And the 2-1. Hit to short. That'll get the run home. Cabrera flips it over, 2 down. And the Rays are on the board. And the Indians lead now cut in half at 2-1 as Molina picks up his 15th RBI.
Well, that's what they had to do, is get him in, get on the board, and you see what it does. A ground ball after that triple gets him in, and it's only a 1-run game.
That'll bring up Elliott Johnson, who singled his first time up. And takes a strike.
Yes, he
Chased
did.
it in the dirt. Santana tracks it down, throws to first, and Kochman can't hang on.
It was a long throw, and I'm not sure if Kochman, he had to stay on the base. He had to reach for it and keep his foot on the base. And that was just, I think that throw was just to let that much offline. This is a good angle. Get a look at it. Kochman saying, okay, I'm right here. Throw it. But that ball goes out. Okay, it's a wild pitch. It looked like he could have caught it, though. It wasn't that far out of whack. He had it and just doesn't hold on. It'll go as a strikeout and a wild pitch.
Well, tapper foul right at the plate by Sean Rodriguez. Tomlin has made 62 pitches to this point in the game. And he popped him up. Kochman near the railing. Oh, he jumped into the dugout. Does not come up with the ball. And luckily, he's all right. Man, he made a leaping effort into the dugout. And there are stairs down there just to where he jumped in that go down even further.
It's too bad because I know he wanted to catch that ball, and he probably felt he should have. But, man, you're dealing with elements there. He had that one in his glove, too, and it just comes out. He goes down. You don't get any help when you go into that opposing team dugout. They wait till you hit first before they pick you up.
He's got some friends in that dugout because he played for these guys a year ago.
And they still didn't help him. We can call them friends, nice friends.
That hit Tomlin right in the leg. He hangs with it and throws him out. Now the Cowboy will walk off the mound. Takes more than that to knock him out. Rays get on the board, though. 2-1 middle of the fifth. Tribe leads 2-1, bottom of the fifth now. Jack Hanahan, Shin Soo Choo, and his Dribble Cabrera coming up. The Tampa Bay Rays are 4-12 against the American League Central Division this year. I mentioned,
that's a little surprising.
Isn't it? They've lost 9 of their last 10 against Central Division foes, but in their 4-12 record, they've beaten Justin Verlander twice. I mean, like, they've hung the loss on him. Not that they won the game he pitched
right.
in. They actually hung the loss on him twice.
And it's funny, and they go into their division, the East, which you would think is the better division in the American League, and they're 20-15. They have the best record in their own division.
Fouled up the first base side. Like the Indians, they've dominated out west. Tribe's 12-5 against the West, and the Rays are 10-3.
That's impressive. That's impressive. 12-5. Played well against the West. The East has given the Indians a few problems, and they will remain in the East after the All-Star break as they head into Toronto and 4-game in Tampa after the break.
Hanahan fouls it back. A ball and 2 strikes.
Be nice if they can come back and take that run off the board they scored in the top half of the 5th.
Indians have done their damage tonight with one swing of the bat. A couple of solo homers. Well, you're right, Rick. Molina has made a concerted effort. When he wants Hellickson to miss, he wants him to miss off the plate. He doesn't want him to, shoot for the corner and then have it leak back over the middle maybe.
I mean, I can see catchers going outside, but this is to an extreme for me. But they know their pitchers, and he's sitting in here, and it's done for a reason, I'm sure.
Curveball in the dirt and a full count. .83 degrees and humid here in downtown tonight. High tomorrow expected to be 97. Fouled back to the screen.
Perfect. We got to play Lou Morrison. Captain Heat.
.70 pitches now for Hellickson on the night. 38 of those strikes.
I'll tell you, the Indians' offense hasn't minded the Heat since they've been in it over the last week. They've enjoyed it immensely.
There's the payoff pitch, and it's ball 4. So the Indians get their leadoff man aboard.
Again.
3rd time tonight. Here's our game recap if you joined us late. Shin-Soo Choo started off for the Indians with a leadoff homer in the 1st. And then with 1 out in the 2nd inning, Michael Brantley for the 2nd time in as many days. Rays only run a triple by Will Rhymes, and he comes home on the ground out by Molina. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Chu singled to left his last time up.
Hellickson seems like he gets a little bit better when he gets runners on. They have a 194 average. And with runners in scoring position, a 154 average. He toughens up.
Oh, he goes Dean Smith on you.
Well, and then he also slows it down, if you know what I'm talking about.
That was the Dean Smith reference.
Okay, the 4 corners.
Yeah.
Nice hustle.
Chu safe at first with 1 out now. They nearly turned a double play.
I got you. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something else. I got you the old 4 corners now, pal. They try to turn it. Good hustle by Chu. And anytime you're in a 1-run ball game, things like this matter. Beating out a double play ball, giving yourself an opportunity or an extra out. You can see Scott laughing at it, saying, I wish I could have picked it. Normally he DHs and Carlos Pena's out there, who's a Gold Glove first baseman.
Well, as Drupal Cabrera steps in here, 0 for 2 tonight. And just 2 for 15 on this homestand. Chu was moving back in the third inning with Cabrera at the plate, and his dribble tried to hit a ball to left field, but it went foul. Other than that, we haven't really seen him attempt to move towards second base. Way outside, ball one.
Let's send along our congratulations to Clyde and Leota Henderson of Lima, Ohio, celebrating their 61st wedding anniversary. Congratulations.
Way outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. And Molina's going to go out and chat.
Well, Chu is on first. They're going to keep an eye on him, but Cabrera now in a hitter's count. You don't want to do too much. Take what he's going to give you. He's got to come up with a game plan, and don't try and pull him if you have to go the other way. He's forcing you to use the big part of the field. You'd just like to see a base hit and see if Cabrera can shoot him the other way. Single him to left. Nothing wrong with that. If he happens to make a mistake, it speeds up your bat. You can turn on it. It's been Chu with 2 hits and Brantley with 2 hits. Kochman has mixed one in as well.
Pitch down low, 3-0. Well, the Indians have kept Desmond Jennings, the left fielder, busy tonight. He's made 5 putouts, and 3 of them were deep on the warning track.
He's making you use the big part of the ballpark to beat him, which is smart.
Caught the corner, says Mike McClinsky, and it's 3-1.
Okay, stay out there and look for it, because he had to go in for a strike. He's staying away. He's throwing a fastball, and that one, it caught a break. That was outside. Ball moved away. As a hitter, I would stay looking out there as well.
It's down low, ball 4. Second walk in the inning, and Rick, it just has the appearance that he's nibbling. Maybe those 2 solo home runs forced his hand to hey, I'm having trouble. I'm missing in the heart of the plate, so I'd rather, if I'm going to miss, I'm going to miss off.
Well, at that time he came back with a curveball, and he bounced it. But that's a 3-0. He went fastball, and they gave him a break anyway on that 3-0 pitch, I thought.
Jim Hickey, pitching coach, out to talk with Hellickson here with 1 out in the 5th inning, and the Indians have 2 on, and Jason Kipnis coming up 0 for 2 tonight. Now, Kipnis is a .378 hitter, as we told you earlier, with runners in scoring position. He's one of the best in the American League in this category, so he's got an opportunity to do some damage here. Kipnis has 49 runs batted in on the year, and 39 of those have come in these situations where he's been able to get a base hit and drive a runner home from second or third.
We told you how good he is with runners in scoring position, second in the league. So this is the guy you want up in that situation. .378.
Now the set. And Kipnis looks at ball 1 outside. Missed out again. 2-0.
Well, you're right. When you call it nibbling, you continue to go out there and you don't make that adjustment. They're getting a good hitter's count, so they have to remain patient. Don't help them out. The young man has been struggling a little bit.
He's 50-50. 80 pitches on the night. 40 balls, 40 strikes.
That's not good. Remain patient.
And the 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Missed badly that time.
Well, he's putting himself. He's painting himself into a corner now. You got to throw a strike sooner or later. And the Indians are doing what they do well. And that's you take the base on balls and move the train.
Threw a strike, but he didn't throw it right down the middle. He was still away outside corner. Let's see if he challenges him with this 3-1 pitch. Grounded to first and a big bounce. Luke Scott will take the easy out, 2 down.
Yeah, there you go. He got Kipnis to roll over on a 3-1 changeup. You see, he's asking the ump if it was a strike, but it was a changeup, and he rolls over on it. He didn't get that fastball, although it may have looked like a fastball. He rolls over on it. The guys move up to second and third, but Jason is out. Give Hafner an opportunity now.
Well, and this is where the Indians need Travis Hafner. You've talked about it. I'm sure a lot of other people have talked about it.
Well, they're not going to intentionally walk him, but I guarantee the way Hellickson pitched in this inning, he's going to nibble. He's going to see if he can get Hafner to swing at pitches off the zone, and Hafner will be selective early, I would think.
Perfect pitch outside corner. Hafner 6 for 45 with runners in scoring position on the year. The 0-1. Breaking ball downstairs. So a fastball away just did catch the corner. Curveball misses low, and the count evens at 1-1. With Chu at third and Cabrera at second and 2 down in the 5th. And the Indians leading at 2-1. And another meeting. Third meeting of the inning. Second time Molina's gone to the mound. And you also have the pitching coach Hickey out once earlier.
You know, I don't know if Molina catches this guy all the time or not, but he just wants to get on the same page. They're at a point in time in this ball game, down 2-1. Your team's not scoring a lot of runs. A base hit here could do a lot of damage. I mean, they just closed it up to make it a 1-run ball game. The Indians with a base hit here takes the momentum back in their favor. You know, and again, they feel bad about themselves because they gotta score now.
Missed in. Almost nicked him with the fastball, and it's 2-1. And the right-hander ready with a 2-1.
May have helped him out right there. Hellickson has been ahead of just 5 of the 22 hitters he has faced tonight, which is not very good. Now let's see if it's in off the dish. Fastball in, I think that was off the plate. That was just a show pitch, and Hafner swung at it and fouled it off. But he might have been looking fastball in, so he got after it. So the count now even, 2-2.
The right-hander ready in the 2-2 pitch. Hafner is out looking, and he is hopping mad at Mike McClinsky, the home plate umpire. Don't see him normally show that kind of emotion when he gets rung up, but he did not like that call by the home plate ump. Inning is over. Indians strand a pair, and it remains 2-1 Cleveland. $2 $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone to an upcoming home game. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Two-one Indians, sixth inning. Josh Tomlin delivers, and Desmond Jennings showed bunt. Now, looking at the replay, it definitely appered that two-strike pitch to Hafner was low.
It was way wrong. It was low as right. He made a mistake. That's why Half snapped at him, and rightfully so.
And that's a key spot in this game with the scoring opportunities being as limited as they have been.
Well, it's down. You know, it off the plate, and it's low. That's low. It's not a strike.
Jennings rips it down the left field line. Foul by inches.
Well, you see that ball hooking, tracking to the ball boy. He was going to get out of the way. He's got his stool in hand.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Jennings. And it's up and in, 3 balls and a strike. Jennings flied to left in the first. He fouled out in the third. And he pops him straight up.
Good pitch.
Out goes Kipnis, calling for it. And now called off by Brantley. 1 down. All right, here now is our AT&T trivia question. We asked you earlier, who is the second African-American manager in the majors?
Well, none other than Larry Doby. Larry, 1978. That's right, went over to the White Sox. Bob Lemon.
His former teammate.
Yeah, ended up going to New York, and they ended up winning it, if you remember, in 1978. Tomorrow will be the big day for Larry Doby. Street will be named for him out there off of Eagle Avenue. Mudcat Grant will be in, throwing out the first pitch with Larry Doby Jr. as well. It'll take place tomorrow night.
Looks like we're going to get some activity in the Indians' bullpen. 70 pitches on the night for Josh Tomlin. 45 of those have been strikes. Pena swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Looks like Tony Sipp, who is getting up in the Tribe pen, he'll begin to loosen up. Tomlin's only allowed 2 hits, but he doesn't have much margin for error. It's a 2-1 ball game. Hit on the ground to first. Kochman is there. He'll flip to Tomlin. 2 down. On this date, 1947, Larry Doby, Newark native, Newark, New Jersey native, makes his debut for the Cleveland Indians. And a year later, he would help lead this team to its last World Championship. Ben Zobrist 0 for 2, couple of fly ball outs to right field. I had a chance to interview him a couple of times. You knew him more from the baseball on the field perspective. Just a true gentleman, yes. And obviously a great player. Missed inside with it, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, yes. When I was coming to spring training, he was coaching, in spring training. What a guy he was. You never thought of it as a great ball player or anything. He did anything he could to help you. And truly a nice man.
Driven deep right, Chu back on the track at the wall, leaps up, makes the catch and hangs on. Shin-Soo Choo with a terrific defensive play, and Zobrist can't believe it. Rays go 1-2-3. Tribe hangs on to a 2-1 lead. All right, the Indians still on top, 2-1. And as we go to the last half of the sixth, it will be Santana, Brantley, and Kochman coming up. Jeremy Hellickson, the Rays starter, has 6 times tonight he's been behind a hitter 2-0.
Well, yeah, he's pitched from behind. He hasn't been ahead of many. That's a tough way to go. You know, a lot of times, sooner or later, it catches up to you. He caught a break in last inning, second and third. They got the call, borderline call going his way.
Down on the dirt, ball 1. Santana flied to deep left his first time up, and then sent another pretty good size fly ball to left back in the fourth. And a count, 2 balls, no strikes. Looks like we're going to get the Tampa bullpen busy now. 10 pitches shy of 100 for Hellickson. He delivers. And a sky-high pop on a 2-0 pitch. 1 away. Well, the Indians with 2 more home runs tonight, and that means Rick and I have each donated $10 on the evening. Every time the Indians homer, we'll throw $5 in. Great Clips donates $50 to the Gathering Place, and our season total, $44.40. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. J.P. Howell just about ready to get loose in that Tampa bullpen. Michael Brantley, 2 for 2, a homer and a single. The Rays have 2 lefties in their bullpen. In addition to Howell, they also have Jake McGee. Brantley rips it foul, deep down the right side. Boy, Rick, I'll bet if you had one of those graphics where you could cluster his pitches, there'd be a giant ink spot on the outside part of the plate all night long. He knows if he goes in and misses, they're not missing it.
That's so true. And he's had a lot of every left-hander coming up. He's trying to go away. And it's, every other pitch, it's a 50%. He's throwing 50% strikes. Usually that'll get you in a little bit of trouble, but so far it hasn't tonight. 2 mistakes, and that's how the Indians are on the board. They only have 5 hits. Brantley with 2, Chu with 2. That was a pretty good pitch there.
3 balls and a strike. And he walks Brantley. So that's 3 walks now in the last 2 innings. 4 in the last 3. And with 1 on, 1 out, Casey Kochman coming up, we go back to the studios for an in-game update with Al.
Hey, Matt, earlier today in Chicago, pitchers duel between Harrison and Quintana. In the 6th inning, it was broken up by Kevin Youkilis, his only hit of the day. But the solo homer breaks the 1-1 tie, and that's the final. 2-1 Chicago as the White Sox beat the Rangers. Matt, back to you.
White Sox probably playing their best baseball of the year right now.
Well, he's Youkilis, a couple of game winners in a row. Beat him last night on a walk-off single, and then game winning, not walk-off today, but the deciding home run.
Yeah. He's paying dividends already for Chicago. White Sox go to 45-37. Indians need a win to keep pace. Tribe started the day 2 games in back. Ball 1, where else? Outside. And Kochman takes the fastball for a strike, 1-1. There's the 1-1. And Kochman shoots it back. Down on the count, of ball and 2 strikes. It's definitely been a 50-50 night for Jeremy Hellickson, and if you didn't know any better, you'd think it was more tilted on the ball to strike side because he's been behind so many hitters. He's ahead of Kochman here, 1-2.
About all he could do right there is foul it off.
Hellickson, not normally known as a guy who is a nibbler, but as you pointed out, he's gone through a pretty rough stretch here of late, and maybe that's just all part of it. Trying to get back on track for him. Missed inside with that, 2-2.
Well, after seeing him pitch tonight, after coming out of the game with his shortest start of his career, getting hit in the shin with a line drive off Prince Fielder, he's okay from that aspect. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't think it has anything to do with his control. Normally, when I have seen this guy pitch, he's got very good command of that fastball to go with the curveball and the changeup. When he's locating those 3, this is a tough customer. But the Indians have been in pretty good hitters counts tonight, and the hitters have made him work very hard.
Big chopper to first. Luke Scott goes to second. Very deliberate throw, and the return throw goes into the photo bay, and Kochman will go to second base with 2 down. Well, Luke Scott made sure he gave Elliott Johnson a perfect throw, and then Johnson returned the favor by just launching one into the photo pit.
What he's doing, he's got to time his throw for the pitcher to get over there. Scott's not going to get back. A normal first baseman might. And also, as the shortstop, it was just offline because Hellickson was there. He was there in time, but it'll go as an error. It goes into the camera bay, so Johnson made the bad throw.
Two down for Johnny Damon.
67th error for the Rays. The only other team with more than that is the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore has 72.
The Orioles will be in action later tonight in Anaheim to take on the Angels. Downstairs, ball one. See if Johnny Damon can deliver a 2-out RBI hit for the Tribe. 0 for 2 on the night. One and one to count. I'm not sure if Johnny maybe didn't pick that ball up.
Well, the ball was inside, and by the time he started to commit, he couldn't hold it up.
Damon just 7 for 46 with a runner in scoring position. See if he can snap out of that slump. He doesn't think that was a strike. And now he's down on the count 1-2.
Well, he's been going out there all night long.
And that's the thing, if you're not calling it, you can't suddenly start to call it. If it wasn't a strike in the third inning, it can't suddenly be a strike in the sixth.
You're not going to swing at it, but you're right.
He's out looking. And somehow Jeremy Hellickson continues to bob and weave his way through this game. 6 complete, 2-1 Cleveland.
Field. Indians fans tonight enjoying Sugardale Dollar Hot Dogs. Your next chance to enjoy some Dollar Hot Dogs as well comes up Thursday, July 26th. The Detroit Tigers will be in town. Everyone loves Dollar Hot Dogs. You better get your tickets right now. You can log on to Indians.com and get all the information while you're there. Check out the Indians Guarantee Season Package. You can still get great season tickets, and all the information's online.
2-1 Tribe, 7th inning. Josh Tomlin delivers, and B.J. Upton swing and a miss. He's 0 for 2. Joe Smith getting loose in the Tribe pen. One ball, one strike. Aaron Cunningham has come on defensively in left field for Johnny Damon. Popped him up again. Back to the screen. Santana. No, can't get to it.
Didn't you say this was the first game that Upton was going to be hitting fourth in for the Rays this year? It's been close.
I don't know if it's his first. Let me see. No, it's his fourth.
Okay. Fourth time he's hit fourth. I know it hasn't been many. Normally you see him up at the top of the lineup, but.
Hit to third, Jack Hanahan. Pulls Kochman off the bag, who applies the tag for out number one. But, Rick, this year, they've had Conrad, Joyce, who's on the DL, right. Keppinger, Longoria, Matsui, Pena, Luke Scott, Sutton.
Same boat for the Indians.
Upton and Zobrist have all batted cleanup.
I mean, you're looking at anybody to try and hit fourth and just plug in there for a game or two. 9 out of the last 10 games, the Rays have scored 4 or less runs. So you figured it was going to be low scoring coming into this thing.
Big curveball and in for a strike. Rays cleanup hitters on the year, a .209 collective batting average.
Wow. That hurts.
And only 5 home runs.
I was going to say, what's the power production now?
5 home runs.
The .209 average.
32 runs batted in. Now, that's the one thing with the Indians. Their cleanup hitters combined, they don't have great power numbers or high average
but
either.
They have the RBIs.
But, at least 10 or 15. 53?
Yeah, I know they were in the 50s.
Compared to 32 for Tampa. So that's a striking difference. Tomlin has him down 0-2. Big curveball. Hit to right. Choose there. Has room. 2 down. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. In a close game, you need good defense.
That was right out of the chute. Second inning. Nice play by Kipnis right there. Chu going back. Picks one off. But you know what? We've witnessed this many times with Tomlin on the mound, the way he works, the way he pounds the strike zone. You always get good defense played behind him.
Fastball strike to Will Rhymes. Rhymes the only reason Tampa's on the board tonight. He just missed hitting a home run in the 5th inning. But the way the ball hit the fence, it ricocheted back towards the infield in deep right, enabling him to get a triple with 1 out. And then he came home on a ground out to short. Indians led at that time 2-0, so they had the infield playing back. That's it. The 2 hits, and all Tomlin is allowed. Out of play.
You know, and it was Chu going back there where his glove got stuck on the wall. I'm thinking if this guy's held to a double on this play, that they don't score. But that ball ricochets off. He gets all the way to third base, and a ground ball will bring him in. So that's how they got on the board, that triple right there.
The 1-2 hit to left. Cunningham is there. Josh Tomlin with 7 strong innings of work here tonight. And the Indians on top 2-1. And a look in from our Panini camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. New pitcher now for Tampa. Jeremy Hellickson went 6 innings tonight. Gave up the 2 runs. And now left-hander J.P. Howell will work.
Howell coming on for the 31st time this year. 27 innings. So now Carlos Pena coming in to play first base over there. They get Scott out of there, so in that situation they lose their DH because that's where he was hitting.
Interesting move.
Well, it's a 1-run game. You go late in the ball game. Scott, not at first base by trade. He started there, so Pena's in.
Jack Hanahan hits it on the ground to third, backhanded by Will Rhymes. Throw is on the money for out number 1. Shin-Soo Choo, 2 for 3 on the night. Ball 1. Chu homered to start the game. Had an opposite field single in the 3rd. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Two balls and a strike. As Vinny Pistano gets heated up in the Indians' bullpen.
Howell has been pitching well lately for the Rays. Went through a tough stretch before middle of June where he allowed 11 runs over 8 innings. And that covered 12 appearances, but he has settled down. He's retired 23 of his last 28 hitters.
Pounds the strike zone there, full count. Tampa outfield straight up and deep for Chu. The payoff pitch. Did he chase? They appeal. He did not go. Ball 4. A 1-out walk here in the 7th.
Didn't give in. Throws from the breaking ball. Chu did not. Holds up. Takes a walk. That's the 5th walk by Tampa pitching tonight to the Indians.
As Drupal Cabrera drew one of those walks back in the 5th. Normally, when the Indians draw the walks, they convert those into runs. That hasn't been the case here tonight.
I think it was 22% of their walks have come around to score this year, which is a pretty good portion. When you're leading the league in walks, that means that's a big part of your offense. They now have 299 walks as a team.
So they're below their average tonight. They should have had another
run.
Should have had another run on the board here tonight.
You would think so.
Let's see if they can still convert that. Inside to Chu, 2-0. To Cabrera, excuse me. Chu's at first. Cabrera flied to deep left his first time up. Out on strikes in the third, and then he walked back in that fifth inning. One of two switch hitters in the lineup for Maniacta tonight.
Yeah, you be patient with this guy. He does not like to throw strikes. Sometimes he's tough to watch.
Three-0 count. And it is called a strike, 3-1.
This might be the old token 3-1 pitch. Let's call it a strike. It was maybe close enough.
Another left-hander up in the Rays bullpen. They have two I mentioned. Howe and the other guy, McGee, who's loosening now. 3 balls and a strike with Chu at first and 1 out here in the 7th. Normally you don't see a left-hander getting up when you've already got one in the game. Fouling away. A full count now with Jason Kipnis waiting on deck. This has been the ultimate test in patience tonight.
Yeah, it certainly has. You have to remain patient against this team. The way they've been throwing the ball tonight, I mean, take what they're going to give you, and we'll see if Cabrera expands his strike zone, but it's going to be something off speed. They keep throwing to first. I don't think you're going to start the runner here only with the left-hander on board, you know.
And I'm not sure how to take how the Indians have done in that battle of patience tonight. I think they've done, for the most part, a pretty good job.
Well, they've made them throw a lot of pitches, and they've taken 5 walks. They haven't gotten a hit when they have guys on base, though. That's the thing.
3-2. Runner goes. Foul back.
It's been the 1-6 hole. It's been Chu. Chu's been on 3 out of 4 times. Brantley's been on 2 out of 3 times. Other than that, the only other hit they had was a Kochman single, and that was back in the 2nd inning. High breaking ball, he fouls off.
Now the set. Runner goes. 3-2, strikes out, throw to second.
Oh,
and he's called out there. Strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. We go to the 8th, 2-1 Cleveland.
the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Terminal Tower all lit up tonight. Jose Molina, Elliott Johnson, Sean Rodriguez coming up for Tampa. Josh Tomlin went 7 innings, allowed 1 run on 2 hits. Vinny Pastano coming on now.
Josh was brilliant tonight. He was outstanding. Turning it over to the bullpen, though, and Vinny on the mound. He's going to face 7, 8, and 9. Normally we see him buzz through the middle part of the order, but he's got 7, 8, and 9 tonight.
And Jose Molina looks at a fastball for strike 1. Tomorrow night it's Justin Masterson against Alex Cobb. And we'll have that for you on STO. 7 o'clock start. Masterson going for his 6th win tomorrow. Alex Cobb 3-5, a 4.94 ERA countering for Tampa. The 1-1 blew it by him. A ball and 2 strikes. 26,577 the attendance tonight here at Progressive Field.
Well, you can throw him a fastball right there all day long, and he'll never hit it with that swing. He's trying to tie it up, and that ball's on the outer part of the plate. He will come up empty every time you swing at it that way.
He's got that open stance, but then he closes it, and then his first move is to open again. A couple of ground ball outs tonight. One of them got home, the only run of the night for Tampa. Blew it by him again with the fastball. 1 down. Rally Alley returns this weekend with live performances, discounted food, happy hour beer specials, and lots of fun. It all begins 2 hours before the game on Eagle Avenue. And we'll have Al and Jason telecasting live tomorrow starting at 5.
Won't be called Eagle Avenue after tomorrow night. The Larry Doby way.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
I guess officially for the advertisement, it has to still be Eagle Avenue tonight, though.
That's right. That's okay.
Until they pull down the
yes, sir.
The curtain. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Broke his bat. Bloops it toward left. Cunningham a long run. Can't get there, and it's a fair ball. On his way to second. Here's the throw. And they got him! Oh, baby! Give Cunningham credit. He made a good throw, and Kipnis was there to cover, take the throw, and slap the tag on Johnson. That is a huge out.
What a beautiful play. I mean, Cunningham hustled over there, and it hit right on the line. He had to backhand that ball as he's going to the seats, and then fires a strike into second base. Terrific play. Really was a good throw. In a 1-run game, I'm going to tell you that is a big, big play right there. Cunningham's rights, throws, beautiful. Nice play.
Two down. Sean Rodriguez 0 for 2. Beg your pardon, this is Hideki Matsui. As a pinch hitter, Matsui, you see his numbers on the year, just a .177 batting average, 1 for 6 as a pinch hitter. A little bit outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Bullseye, 3-1. Two down here in the 8th, and the Indians leading it 2-1. Vinny Pistano. A 3-1 count on Matsui. And line to left. Cunningham in. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. So some more good defense for the Indians. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 try. All right, back here at Progressive Field. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, another left-hander, Jake McGee, on for the 38th time this year.
No surprise you see back-to-back left-handers coming out to face the Indians lineup, who had all left-handers in there today.
Will Rhymes started the game at third base. He slides over to second base. And now coming in to take over at third is Jeff Keppinger. And for the Indians, Jason Kipnis, Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana due up. And a strike at the knees. Kipnis fouls it out of play. And the count now, no balls, 2 strikes. Now McGee deals, and a fastball up high. 96, boy, he can rush it up there.
Got a little different velocity than J.P. Howell.
Look at the Omar Vizquel haircut. It's like a Mr. T dude he's got working there.
Almost looks like a hat he's wearing.
Maybe it is.
It might be. No, it's...
He's got some serious barber work. Kipnis fouling it out of play.
I think that's a professional wrestler.
Look at that.
That is. Look at the Mr. T in action, no doubt.
And then he's got... Oh, wait a minute. No, I guess that is legit.
No, it's sweating. I don't know hats that sweat.
Here's the 1-2 to Kipnis. To left field. Desmond Jennings makes the catch. 1 down. In-game box score courtesy of your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come see the new 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Chew and Brantley each with a solo dinger, accounting for the Indians' offense tonight. And you flip that over, if you were to look at the Rays box score, they have 3 hits in the game.
Yeah, it's
2 singles and a triple. And that triple led to their only run.
Definitely dominated by the pitchers tonight.
Travis Hafner fouls it off. Hafner still probably ticked off about his last AB in the 5th inning. 2nd and 3rd with 2 down. And 2 strikes. A pitch that looked low and out of the strike zone was called strike 3. Big Pronk was hopping mad. And he gave Mike Malinsky a piece of his mind.
Yeah, I guarantee he didn't talk to him this time he came up to the plate.
Missed down low with it. And it's 1-1. On the corner. And it's 1-2. Fastball away. Back to even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carlos Santana waiting on deck. Last half of the 8th. Hafner with a long drive. Deep right. Zobrist back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Travis Hafner's 7th home run of the year gives the Indians a little breathing room. 3-1 Cleveland.
And all home runs today, all solo shots. Chew, Brantley, and now Hafner. Hafner gets his 7th, and that comes at the right time off the left-hander. Boy, he threw him a fastball right there, middle in. He spins on it, hits it high, hits it deep.
That was a high and majestic home run off the bat of Travis Hafner. and something you gotta love if you're an Indians fan. Getting Hafner back, trying to get some stability for the middle of the batting order. Two-0 pitch to Santana, fouled back. Jake McGee deals, and Santana swinging a miss, 2-2. Santana with a line drive single in the left. And the Indians have a base runner with one out now. And Michael Brantley coming up.
There we go. He got something on the inner part of the plate he could turn on, get it over the head of the shortstop at Johnson. So Santana gets his first hit of the night. The Indians have 7. So a little add-on here for the Tribe.
So Michael Brantley, who homered back in the second inning, singled in the fourth, walked his last time up. And Brantley fouls it back. It's Wade Davis, a right-hander, getting loose. Spun him out of the way. By the way, talking about getting some stability in that 4-hole or in the middle of the lineup. Hafner home run, first since May 23rd. Santana's last homer, May 15th.
Yeah, I know that. I looked at that earlier today. That's right. It's coming up on 2 months.
By the way, Big Pronk, 9 plate appearances already in the series. 48 pitches seen in these 2 games so that he's played. Brantley with a ground ball right at the second baseman Rhymes. To Johnson for one, back to first. An inning-ending double play. But the Indians using the solo homer tonight. Hafner's blast has the Tribe on top 3-1 as we go to the 9th. 3-1 Tribe as we go to the ninth inning, and Chris Perez will try to save it, looking for number 24. That would tie him with Fernando Rodney for second in the American League in saves. Jim Johnson has moved to the head of the class with 25 for Baltimore. He'll face the top of the order: Desmond Jennings, Carlos Pena, and Ben Zobrist. And a strike called. Outside corner, 0-2. This crowd of better than 26,000 getting into it now.
Why not?
CP ready, the 0-2. Boom. Oh, are you kidding me? That's low, 2-2. Hit on the ground in between third and short, and a base hit for Jennings. Well, he had him struck out but didn't get the call, and now the tying run will come to the plate.
Came out there with another fastball, and he was able to just get it in the hole enough. Cabrera makes a nice stab at it, dives on his belly, but gets up. He's not going to throw out Jennings. So the leadoff single.
And now you got to face Carlos Pena, the tying run, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Low and away, ball one. Line drive to Kipnis. He can't come up with it. He will throw to second. He'll get one. The return throw. Close, but not in time.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. That ball was smoked. And Kipnis, he was thinking of throwing it to first base for the double play. It was hit so hard he just never held on to it. It bounced out of his glove. And they almost turned the double play because he's trying to get back. That ball was hit hard. I'm sure it had some tough spin on it. And if Pena wasn't hustling out of the box, he would have been out, and that would have been a double play either way you look at it. But I'll bet Jason felt he should have caught it and had the double play originally.
Ben Zobrist 0 for 3. He sent a drive to deep right field his last time up, and Chu made a terrific catch up against the wall. The pitch. High fly ball, right field. This time easy play for Chu. 2 down. The Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show comes your way next. B.J. Upton 0 for 3 on the night. He scorched a ball his first time up and was robbed of a hit on a terrific play by Jack Hanahan. Way outside on a good stab by Santana. Missed again, 2-0. Popped him up. Santana. He's there. He's got it. And the Indians win again. Tribe wins it by a final score of 3-1, and they've won 6 of their last 8. They are now 43-39 on the year. Tampa slips to 43-40. Winning pitcher is Josh Tomlin. He's now 5-5 on the season. The save to Chris Perez, his 24th of the year. Losing pitcher Jeremy Hellickson, he drops to 4-5 on the season. Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by Key Bank.
Well, you go into the 8th inning, and here's a ball. It's a one-run ball game at the time. Johnson's going to hit a ball. It's going to hit the chalk. Just put in for defense. Here comes Cunningham. He gets it, stands up straight, makes the throw, and it was an unbelievable throw at that to get him at second base. That would have been the tying run in scoring position. A one-hop throw just off there, and you can see Kipnis thrilled with it. Pastano says nice play, and it was a nice play all the way around.
Play of the game brought to you by Key Bank. Earn double reward points during the Key Bank Summer of Rewards. Tribe a winner 3-1. Down to Katie Witham, who's standing by with Michael Brantley, whose big bat helped pave the way tonight.
Thanks, Matt. Well, Michael's second home run in as many days. What pitch were you looking for, and what did you get?
I got a fastball in, and I just kind of put a good swing on it. He's a great pitcher. He doesn't make too many mistakes, and I finally got a ball out of the plate and just put a good swing on it.
You've now hit safely in 37 of your last 40 games. Do you feel like this is the best that you've ever swung the bat?
Yeah, it has to be one of the best. I'm seeing a lot of good pitches, and I'm putting good quality swings on the ball. If I do that, and I hope I can stay consistent all year.
This game today was a well-pitched ball game on both sides. Talk about Josh Tomlin out there. Went 7 innings, only gave up 2 hits. What did you see him do well tonight?
He's back. He threw some great cutters today. He looked good. He looked his form that he used to be in. I was messing with him earlier, and I kind of was trying to get him hyped up a little bit, and hopefully it worked. I don't know, but he threw the ball very well tonight.
And defensively, you guys put on a show, specifically Jack Hanahan's second inning coming up with that play, and Jason Kipnis. Is it exciting for you to be able to see these guys do that?
It's phenomenal. I mean, we're playing great defense. That's what kept us in this ball game today. Chu made some great catches as well. We can't forget that. And we just got to play good defense and have time to hit, and we'll be just fine.
Brantley, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Katie. Indians a winner 3-1. Good old-fashioned pitching, defense, and the long ball tonight here at Progressive Field. Tribe stays 2 games in back of the White Sox in the Central. Some final thoughts when we come back.